All right, Instagram. We ain't had no sound on Instagram, but we are back with the sound. Check, check, check. Thank you, Instagram. I know TikTok hear us. But my brother, what's going on? My brother, it's good to have you in the
Um,
set, back in action. It's a rainy, muggy day today,
yeah,
cold and
man.
wet. But
Wasn't feeling too well, man.
yeah, you was sick. You still coming out of
Yeah,
it.
I feel much better now, man. My voice coming back. I feel much better, man. I feel good, man. I feel good. I feel back to myself, man.
Okay, okay. I see you. I can hear you still working out the kinks. My man still working out the kinks.
Yeah, I'm trying, man.
Sound like an old school rapper right
Yeah.
now.
It's getting there. It's getting better, man. It's
Yeah,
getting
I'm,
better,
I'm, I'm
man.
glad you're getting better, my brother. It is that season.
Yeah, it's
It is
starting.
that.
The
It is
weather's
that.
changing, man.
It is that season.
I be thinking I could go out like just regular with just a shirt, man. And nah,
Especially you be in all kind of weathers.
not no more.
Not no more.
Not no more. Thank God, man. I'm
Okay.
indoors, man. I'm indoors, but it's no ventilation in there, man. So it's like, you win outside or you don't win indoors. So outside is cool because it's air, everything. But indoors it's like everything. There's no AC, man, because of the dust and stuff like that, man. But it's cool.
Boss lady, I see you. That's what's up, man. I mean, you were sharing before we got on live.
Yeah.
You were sharing something when did this happen?
I wasn't here. I think it happened last week,
Last
and
week.
I was telling Spud a little. I think the girl was 13 years old, man. On a Friday night, she was subway surfing with a friend that was 12 at 3 o'clock in the morning, man. At 3 in the morning,
In the
and
morning.
parents was nowhere to be found, man. And the kids, they end up dying, man.
It was two.
Two of them.
Man.
I think the one was 13 and one was 12. And the worst part is, man, that the moms got on the TV. I don't know. I don't know how people handle death, but for your kids to be, gone, like, and then I don't know what she was doing at 3 o'clock in the morning outside, bro.
Yo, that's tough. That's tough, man. It's like a whole life, two lives gone right before they even get to experience anything. 12, 13.
12 and 13, 13 and 12, I think the
I
girls
mean, I was
was.
doing. They said if it was on the news.
Yeah, it was on the news. Hey, Kaya. It's my daughter.
Kaya.
What's going on, Kaya?
That's tough. But like you said, what the kids doing out 3 in the morning, right? When I came home, I worked at Clean Right in Far Rockaway between Seagard and Seagard, and I had a crew of kids from 9 to 11. I worked the overnight shift. These kids would be in the spot with me in the overnight shift working, and I would pay them. And no parent ever asked me. Like I could have been crazy, you know what I'm saying?
It's
But me
weird,
seeing the
bro.
light in these kids, man, I was just like, yo, I'd rather them in here working. So I would make them sweep, do the lint cages,
It's
you know what I'm
weird,
saying, and
bro.
do homework. And they would go from 8 a.m. in the morning. They would come in at midnight because I came in at 8 a.m. They would leave to go to school.
It's weird, Spud, because these kids try things that we would never think about. And you lose your life, man. You only got one life, man. And these kids don't even enjoy their life, man. They don't even enjoy their life, man. They don't even know what life is at that age, man.
They don't. They
You
don't.
know,
And one thing I try to like share with a lot of young people, like when you don't experience life, you don't understand the depth of your risk. You know what I'm saying? You don't. And this is why we, as adults and those who experience things, when we get around a youngin, how we deliver the risk is very instrumental. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we just be like, nah. We they don't want to hear that. But how we deliver, because we got more experience.
Spud, at that age, you know, Remember that commercial? It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Yeah, I
You know,
remember that's
and
a classic,
and then
classic
and
commercial.
you know, I don't know who's that person on thing said the same thing. Her mom was telling a story like it was nothing,
Sugar on
and
TikTok.
she didn't cry or nothing, man. She didn't cry or nothing. And for your moms to not cry, like I don't know, but I take things different, you know, especially with my kids, man. So
Renegade.
I just don't understand these kids now doing the most dangerous things in the world, man.
So yeah, they do the dangerous things, but we did dangerous
But
things.
not like that, Spud.
No, not like that, right? But we did dangerous
Yeah,
things. You know what I'm
but the
saying?
things we did, Spud, was nothing compared. Spud,
We
she
didn't.
died on Marcy
We
Avenue, so she had to cross the Williamsburg Bridge
bridge
and got hit with one of them
poles
poles
or
and not
something.
like, what
Probably
was you doing?
lost her footing or something. She said her daughter was adventurous. Like I think difference between us, right? Growing up, our risk was really valued. A high percentage of our risk was about either a come up, like
Yeah.
some type of advantage. And the difference now with the risk, I think a lot of the risk, I don't want to say risk is risk. I don't want to say there's senseless risk, but for absence of really directing what I'm trying to say, I see a lot of senseless risk in this day and age. Things that I'm like, all right, I get the thrill. I guess it's a thrill. But you wage your life. You know what I'm saying? Like that thrill wages your life, man.
Knows that you in the house sleeping, you get a phone call at 3 o'clock in the morning. Somebody tell you your 13 or 12-year-old daughter has passed away for subway surfing. Like, what was you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you don't check on them or
Yeah, 3 in the morning. That's
that's
12.
weird,
12.
bro.
That is tough.
That is, and on Friday, so she was out Saturday morning. You could say,
Yeah, that is tough. That is three
you
in the
know, even
morning.
if you snuck out or whatever, like, that's weird, bro. That's weird.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my girl Nab. She said, it's social media. They want to impress people who don't even care. Because the ones that actually care will never put them in bad situations. And social media is very instrumental in how people behave in this day and age. I watched a clip of a dude who was getting, I think he was in Spain. He was running around with an empty needle and run up on people and then like run off. He ended up getting, I think, 3 years for that. But like social media is very instrumental on what people assume as like, celebrity now. What
That's
celebrity has become, it's a little sickening to the psyche and the social constructs of what we live in, bro. It's crazy.
listen, man. We did crazy stuff, but I don't think like stuff like that, man. Like hanging on the top of the train, man.
Yeah,
You know, you could die either way. You could die, bro. You could slip and fall off, hit the tracks, fall down, and wherever it is.
yeah.
These kids, they're listen. If social media is doing that, you
So
know,
social media is very. I think it's even more powerful than we know how powerful and instrumental it is in people's behaviors, but like the psychological and long term effect of that, I think is even beyond what we could fathom. Like what that does to the brainwave of how people are, because it's not just a young man shit. We watch adults do dumb stuff on social media. You know what I'm saying? So it's not it's a frequency. It ain't even an age range. It's a frequency of how it affects us.
that's just weird, man. And look, you didn't even hear it. I was sitting home like at the time, and I'm like, at that age, like, what made you? I don't care how adventurous you was or whatever you thought you was doing. That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
And you know, for both of them to be out that size at that age, somebody parents should be in trouble, bro.
Yeah.
They should be in trouble. I'm telling you, the moms got up there like it was nothing.
Shout out to Hey Sir, next song, salute. Yo, Neb said, they like where they get the idea from, because there was a game actually.
It is. It is.
Yeah, I mean, I played the game.
Subway Surfer.
Subway Surfer. You know what I'm saying? I played the game.
But it's like, that's weird, bro. These kids need things to do, man.
Yeah.
They gotta figure it out, man. And parents gotta watch what their kids are doing.
You really do.
You gotta be in tune with what your kids. You can say, "Oh, I don't watch." No, you gotta watch, man. It's not the same time. It's not the same time.
You gotta watch what's fueling your kids, man. You gotta watch what's out there. I mean, we even gotta watch what fuels us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've watched a bunch of adults, people that get affected psychologically from depression, seeing people post or show like good life. Like, I recently had a conversation with somebody and they couldn't take how much people were projecting like good stuff, and it was messing with their well-being. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, so yo, why you killing yourself watching that shit, bro? Like, delete it or find something else. Like, why we even doing that? If you allowing it to affect you, like, why you absorbing it so much? So even as adults, we gotta be careful. You know what I mean? We gotta be careful what we got.
There's a lot of things, but I won't, like get in tune to politics and not, like, it's a lot of things I won't. But with the kids, yeah, you gotta watch them because they all into this shit now. They don't know nothing else.
Yeah.
That's all they know is that phone and that social media and all that. So you have to check. There's things that maybe you don't want to pay attention to your kid, but sometimes it's good to listen,
You got to be active.
Yeah, very active.
You got to be active in their well-being, their day-to-day, because it could snowball in seconds.
Hell yeah.
It could snowball in seconds. And if you look at Saturday, the day Saturday, if you look at Saturdays, when Saturday come and you look outside and you don't see a near kid outside.
At all.
You don't see a football, double dutch, a kid running, playing tag. You don't see, when parks are empty, bro. Empty. Empty. Like,
more dogs in the park than the kids. And that's sad.
Straight up.
And that's sad.
That's real. That's real. Like, that tells you, like, the time shift of the mentality and the activity in youth. Like, they're getting stimulated. They're getting still stimulation, and that's the scariest thing. Still stimulation. They just sitting, and then they're getting stimulated with all kinds of insights and stuff. That's a dangerous formulation, man. Dangerous.
I don't know what that is. They said they're working at the Board of Education.
Shout out to Neb.
Yeah, youth development. They need a lot of that. They need a lot of that, man. Instead of cutting their programs, they need a lot of things for these kids to, get their mind off, man. And you know what? They need it because a lot of kids don't have, like, parents that pay attention to them. They are working.
Sad.
It's sad, man. It's
sad.
sad.
What's even sadder? Yeah, we need these programs. And
they cut them.
And someone who does youth programs, they don't even care, bro.
What you mean they don't care, Spot?
The NYC education, and I'm not gonna say the participants of NYC. There's a lot of people with the heart that work the field, that do the classes, but the business structure of the Board of Ed is an assembly line, bro. It's an assembly line, bro.
They don't care about the kids,
They
bro.
don't. How?
There's no way, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
But
How?
even, like when we went to school, we didn't realize what we had, and that was a little bit. These kids got more than anything to succeed in life.
But they don't know.
They don't want them to know, so they don't teach them.
No, yeah.
They don't teach us, but they got little kids. They got kids that just finished college, teaching 18, 17-year-old kids.
Yeah.
They still kids. What are you going to teach them?
Yeah.
What are you teaching them? They're teaching them to fight or, take the phone out, take selfies. They're not teaching them nothing. When, our teachers was old. They was old. They was like your moms. They were your moms and pops.
You had a different you had a different approach with teachers when we were growing up.
Yeah,
because
even
they was an elder.
even school safety. School safety wasn't the kids.
Yeah, I ain't
You
gonna
know,
lie. I go to my daughter's school. I can't tell who a student.
that's what I'm trying to
I'm
tell
in
you.
there like they like, can I help you? I'm like, no, I'm looking for my kid, and it's an instructor or a teacher, and that is one thing that is true. And now that you bring that up, I do see how the kids interact with the teachers.
Yeah, they cool
It's
with
like
them.
they're homie.
They cool.
I heard a kid on PTA. This was like last month. I heard a kid during they don't even call it PTA. It's like meet the teacher or something. And he's telling the teacher came out the class and he's like, nah, that's not how we do it. That's not how we do it. And the teacher's like, what you mean? And I get the connection in conversation, but you gotta have a structure of some type of authority to deliver. And I don't want to even use the word authority, but a respect.
Yeah.
A certain level of respect, a boundary level of respect. That yeah, we could play and we could chop it up, but some things is offline. Like,
It's not cool, Spud. It's not cool
It
when
is-
a
it is
kid
different. It
could
is.
interact with the teacher. You're a teacher, and you could tell your teacher what you like and what she don't like, or what he don't like,
or what ain't
and
it?
then
Or what ain't
your
it?
teacher come in looking like you. We look alike, so we dressed alike. We just chilling. You know, the teacher ain't teaching nothing in class, not nothing perspective to help the kids succeed. You know, these kids now they don't even write penmanship. How you gonna sign a check?
Yeah,
Through your phone?
They don't do pen. Yeah, they don't do that. They don't do.
You know that
teach
the little
script.
things that these kids need
They
to
don't-
step up to.
But that's what I mean. Like when you look at the school's curriculum, like not the participants, the school curriculum. Even those that are educators, between the teachers and the counselors, even their curriculum to teach. A lot of them got to break. A lot of them got to break the rules to really do something that's really meaningful. You know what I'm saying? Because where it comes from upstairs, when upstairs shoot it downstairs, it ain't it, man. It ain't it.
You know, you go to schools and you see these kids walking the halls. They have nothing. They have nothing. They cutting the program, music, whatever teaches them to succeed. They don't want that. You know, and it's sad because these kids think that living life is gonna be this easy. Get harder, man. Get harder, you know. You look fresh now. When you start paying bills, you'll understand.
Yeah.
When you don't know how to save and when you don't know how to go with life, things change, man.
Yeah, it is.
I hear kids glorify jail. I hear kids glorify jail like it's somewhere to go.
Hey, I've been there. Don't start glorifying that. I've been there.
Yeah.
I think I did enough time for all of you.
But this is what
Don't
I'm
do
saying,
it.
Spud.
Yeah.
And you being in your situation, talking to them, is like
like what I love about my class, like I feel like I hold a great medium between relating and respect. You know what I'm saying? And I speak about it highly. And I think a lot of times we're in the time of everybody, not everybody, but a lot of establishments wanting to be cool. And it kind of goes back to social media to me. It goes back to cool. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to want to add and share your experience. Like you said, kids are marveling over prison. You know what I'm saying? And I shared one time I'm in a group and the kid is like, yeah, my OG, he in the streets. He got a set and he like, yo, my OG, you know, he be on a jack all the time. He got the jack. He be on a visiting all the time. And I had to tell Shorty like, yo, you know your OG crack his ass open and bend over for a man to
visit.
live. He like, you stupid. I'm like, yeah, every time your man go to the visit,
yeah,
he gotta cop a squat,
Yep.
spread his cheeks and cough. And I said, your OG ain't telling you that. He telling you how he on a dance floor on a visit all the time, but he ain't telling you that. And the kid was sitting there like, for real? And I'm like, yo, bro, I've been there, bro.
It's humiliating, bro.
I've been there, bro. Like, and that's like the stories of the real. Like, I tell it.
But you express your story, my G. You express your story. You express your life. You've been through it. These kids think it's something to like, yo, I just came out of jail. You never went to jail, bro. You wasn't in jail.
Yeah.
You was wherever you was not in jail. You don't know what it is to spend hard times. Then you got parents being their friends. Don't touch my kid. Listen.
Yeah. Neb said, yo, you got to put yourself in their shoes. They need a mentor. They do. They do. And before, this is a technique I use. I'm not saying this is the order. This is the technique I do. Before I'm a mentor, they need a relative. They need something that they could relate to, that they could identify as a true understanding before they get a mentor. I see a lot of people with good heart get into these mentor spaces, and they like, Spud, I can't get to him. I can't get to him. And I'm like, yo, give me a day with him. Give me a day with him. And the first thing I'm doing is I'm showing my vulnerability. Like, yo, fam, you know, at your age, I fucked up, bro. At your age, at 15, I was sentenced to life, bro. And as soon as I see that, yeah, bro, and that shit wasn't fun. That shit wasn't fun. And then I get that relative, and then that's when I administrate like yo, bro, I know. I don't think you should be doing like this, bro. Because and then I get so much success. Bro, I've never had a failure rate yet.
Talking about that, my G, I have a kid in my job, and he just came home. He made the news and all that. Made the news and everything. Him and his man's in the Bronx. Beat up a kid. They stabbed him. Son died. And they had I don't know his specific charges, but he was like, you know, I was in a gang and that shit changed my life because they did nothing for me. And I looked at him and I was like, yo, you still have a chance, bro. You got a chance. You got a chance.
Most definitely.
I'm like, you not behind the bar. He was in there for 3 years, I think.
Okay.
And
they gave manslaughter.
Yeah, he got 3 years, and they let him out, and that was his first time. But he didn't do it. He didn't do it. The kid who did it, I guess, copped out to it.
It's called a felony charge. So in the act. Say, for instance, we go to fight somebody, right?
Yeah.
Me and you, and I duff son out. Bing, bing, bing. And you throw a kick. He slipped. He hit his head. And he died. The felony law is the transition of the case. Wherever the case transitions to, we both get charged with it. So then he dies. We both get charged with the manslaughter. Even though you just like, yo, I just kicked him. So even like robberies. If somebody busts a robbery, and then in the middle of the robbery, you clap son and he died, the transition of the felony case turns to murder. Everybody in the case gets charged with murder, especially in New York.
He told me, he was like, yo, it's crazy. All the dudes that I thought was my man, they ain't sent me shit. He like, yo, that shit changed my life sitting behind the cell.
It do.
He was like, yo, I sat in the island for almost 3 years, bro, fighting this shit. He was on house arrest for 9 months. On house arrest. He said, yo, after I got my job.
Months, he lucky. He don't know. He lucky. He lucky, first of all, like a chance. I would tell him, like, yo, my dude, you did 3 years on a manslaughter. And you only had 9 months house arrest? Bro, you got the time to shine. Make it count. Yo, Edge, I see you. I got
Edge,
you.
what up, Edge?
You got the time to shine, bro.
I just, you know, he young, Spud, and I just
how old
look.
Is he like? How old?
He like 22, 23.
Oh, he good money, bro. Yo, my man Shadow. I don't want to put my man Shadow business on. He usually jump on here. My man Shadow went in at 14, did 23 joints for a cop body. You know what he do right now? He a nurse.
Yeah, but you change your life, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get the shot, I don't give a fuck what. Once you get back out into the town and you touch cement, you back on concrete, as we call it, you back in the bricks. Bro, I don't care what. Make it happen.
I don't understand. I don't understand, like, but even just sitting behind the bars and letting somebody tell you something, it's like, you know, they sit there, you go see them, and they be like, yo, I should have. We've been telling you. You know, you know, you could mentor these kids a whole bunch, but when they hit them streets, it's a whole different era. You know, you sit there. You could bring them. You know how they say you bring them to water.
But you can't make them drink.
You understand? These kids don't want to drink it. They so full and bugged out. Like they don't understand. There's better things than life than doing the things you do, bro.
There's a lot that don't know what it is to drink it. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a dedicated force of attention for those kids, and like Neb said, that's why like someone who dedicates for mentorship, like it's work. It's work. You know what I'm saying? Like I be around some kids that like I had to talk out. He's like, yo, I'm gonna clap son tonight. I ain't got time. I ain't got a day to guide him. He telling me like, nah, bro, son violated. I'm clapping him tonight. And I gotta work that. I gotta work that in a 2-hour class. 2-hour class, bro. But when I see that, man, they're in search. They're in search of something that relates for them to respect. And that's why I love it, bro. That's why I love it, because I when people be like, nah, they're lost cause, bro. I be like, give me that class. Put me in that. They be like, nah, you don't. That's the class I want, bro. I want the class.
But you care. You care, my G. Some of these programs don't care about the kids. They do it because they getting paid. They do it because it's a way to get money.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't. And your program, they'll knock it off faster than the nigga that's getting the money doing nothing. That comes out when they get shot.
I want to send a big shout out to Pat Groves right now on TikTok. Pat Groves was my 4th grade teacher, bro. My 4th grade teacher. There was a little crew of us. It wasn't even a little crew. It was me, Darren, and Raymond. Orlando was there in the mix, but it was me, Darren, and Raymond. And she worked at PS 106. She was a teacher. I'm gonna say she's a white Irish lady, right? I'm just saying that to paint a picture, because in the time that we were growing up, we didn't have someone from a different race or different culture that took an interest in us. And yo, this lady was the things that she did to introduce us to a whole new life, like that is what mediating and mentorship and caring looks like. Like right now, that's the grandmother of my kids. Like when y'all see me in California, 90% of the times I'm in California because I'm holding up with the OG, because she a gang member on the low. You know what I'm saying?
No shit.
She be having her break. Yeah, I'm just saying she thoroughbred. She a thoroughbred. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Miss Groves, man. I love her. Like I coming home from prison, one of the hardest things was how people dealt with me knowing they were in prison. It wasn't even how long I was away. That part was a journey. But people knowing how I was, that I was in prison, that was the hardest part. And she opened her doors to me, man.
She cared, man.
And she opened her doors to me when I know for a fact many people that love her were like, you crazy? Don't do this. I'm telling you, he's tricking you. He's no good. I know it. And she still, bro, despite those that, I don't know how many relationships I possibly affected. But she did that, bro.
She loved you. She cared. She cared.
And that's the type of energy these kids need.
Yeah, and that's what they don't have, Spud. And that's why they look for it from other people in the streets that don't give them that. A lot of people forget. You see what you got? A lot of people don't give that. It's rare to find it. You need to find it. And the people that they do, they won't listen to you because they're already brainwashed by the dudes in the street or whatever they have in front of them. And a lot of parents are not doing the things that she would do. You know, you love your kids. Your block is gonna take care of all the kids, not just one kid. All these kids. You don't see nobody outside no more.
Nah.
You don't see nothing that people show caring. Even with the seats, Bud. I go on a train. People won't give older, elderly people the seats.
Yeah, that'd be wildin'. Like when I ride a train and I see that,
that's wild.
I be on the train looking. I'll be like, you wanna sit?
Yeah. Like you could stand up, you know.
But we also like, and I want to take some accountability as well, because there was an era in our lives, especially in the hood, where there was a code, right? There was a code. There was an honor amongst thieves. Like, I don't care if you sold drugs, did robberies, whatever. There was an honor amongst thieves, that how we conducted and displayed. But that honor amongst thieves, and I'm not just saying it to be honorable, but we never translated that to the next generation. And then there's a whole generation that faced a pandemic type of situation, or epidemic, should I say, of like the drugs. So then you got a whole era that we were affected by drugs and didn't translate the code, right? And then that generation has kids that whatever struggles they was going through, that didn't get translated, and then it doesn't get translated, then they have kids and they have kids. So a lot of what we're seeing too is an effect of how the conditioning, the circumstances, whether it's systemic racism, whether it's internal defamation between us as a people. Like, there's so many factors.
You see how you just said that? I know people that was on drugs that took better care of their kids than people that wasn't on drugs.
Yeah.
And that's wild.
I saw that too.
You know, and the more you sit there and look at it like, damn, this person's on drugs, but they taking care of their kids very well. Very well. You know, the person that's not on drugs and partying and doing the things that they being their child's friend, this is why the kids don't have guidance no more. This is why. You know, remember, you get your ass whipped, Spud. You get a whipping, bro. These parents forget. They forget, Spud. And the parents are us. And we don't really.
And now, parents can and should do. I don't want to say do more. Do as much as they can. I don't think a lot of parents are doing a lot of much they can. But also, in society, we have many different entities and vehicles that our kids have to be careful of. There's many distractions and luring activities that get them. And like, for my time, like we spoke about this on the show. Like, we're in a time where they, like, you know, everybody wants to be so in touch with their emotions, bro. Like, everybody's so like, be expressive, say how you feel how you feel, and I get that. But I think in this day and age, I think the control of your emotions is something that's not being taught. It's just this freedom of emotions. So I'm watching grown men, and I don't want to say it like in a sense of like it's not possible. But I'm watching the table shift of a youth. I watch some women. They the hardest thing on the earth, bro. Hardest thing on the earth. And then I watch some dudes who just like, yo, bro. It's like a life swap, and I'm not saying they can't be somehow, they can't be, but I'm watching in live action the live swap and how dangerous energy, any energy that's not controlled, electricity, I don't care what it is, you have to control energy, and emotion provokes so much energy.
You know who you blame that on?
A grip of that shit.
You know who you blame that on? The fathers that wasn't there.
Not only that,
but the mothers is the mother and father.
Yeah.
So now you don't need a father. I'm your father. But this is what I'm saying. What I said, but this is how it is now. So that the mother is there for the mother is the mother and father. She can't teach you what a man can teach you. The man is not being found, or the man is not allowed to be around the child. It's a whole different era now. It ain't the same. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I could do it. You can't do it. It's always two. You need two. There got to be a man figure in that child's life.
I'm not going to say you can't do it.
I'm not, no.
Yeah, but with the balance. Like, I think in life now, we are so concerned with our individual freedoms. Everyone is so concerned with their individual freedoms, but not realizing the expression of your individual freedoms, someone will be contained because you're not going to take in consideration. And I think one of those biggest things is the balance in life. No one wants to talk about the balances because it seems so boxed in. It seems so sexist at times or insensitive. But it's the truth. If you look at life in its whole, there's a balance. So having the household with a balance, whatever that looks like, the balance has to be administrated, especially when growing a kid. Or I won't say have to. Let me take that back. Should be to gain the most out of it. But when you in a disbalance, the kid, not the parent, parent, whether mom or dad, mom could hold it down. I'm the mom and the dad. She could hold it down, pay the bills, make sure the food is there. She could do all that. But the child, like we get so caught up in the child is going to seek. He is going to seek it. And I'm gonna go as far as to say, I don't care if both parents are in the household. If the balance ain't administrated, the child is going to seek it somewhere else. Whether it's camaraderie, love, excitement, dreaming, whatever it is, they're gonna go somewhere else, bro.
You know that you say the structure. My kids come home and tell me how their friends say they wish that their parents were together. And it's crazy that kids, there's little things that kids want that parents don't acknowledge. And it ain't about the happiness that you have to make sure that your kid is happy, and you got to listen. A lot of parents ain't listening. That structure, that's why they go outside. That's why they go check for other things that they not supposed to. They have to go to a mentor because they have nothing else but what they have in the house. And who knows if they have it. Their moms might be working a lot to
Yeah.
make ends meet. It ain't like back in the days.
Yeah, I get you.
The programs that they did have, they knock them off. So where they gonna go?
They gonna be on the block.
And that block is not.
They're gonna go hang out with so and so.
That's not the way.
You know what I'm saying? They gonna like even me. Like I'm understandable and understanding the structure. Like I grew up in a traditional Jamaican household. Pop bust his ass. My mom worked too. She was a nurse. My pops did mechanic. He woke up. He worked. He put the money on the table. But my pops ain't throw a basketball with me. You know what I'm saying? My pops ain't. His examples was like you take care of house. You there for everything. So in the sense of that, where did I go? I was on the block. I played ball with the kids and I figured it out because I was in search of something. You know what I'm saying? But when you leave that room for a kid to search for something, when you leave, and I don't want to just leave it on my pops. My mom was old school. Go to school, go to school. That was it. There was no dreams. There was no inspirations. They never came to none of my basketball games. And I'm not saying here like boo hoo me because I never looked for it because I never had it. But now looking in retrospect, I'm like, there's so much space for me to figure it out. And if you leave a lot of space to figure it out, I might figure it out with the wrong type of situation. And that's what's gonna happen a large or higher percent of the time with our kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find a way to administrate different aspects and keep that balance. Cause they will search for it.
I just, you know, I me, I didn't have that neither. I didn't have that neither. But I also had people that was around my circle that didn't allow me to do a lot of things. And I was grateful for that. I didn't learn how to play sports with my father. I didn't learn any of that. I had a park across the street, and I would be in the park all day learning how to play basketball. Baseball, I had friends that played baseball. I figured it out. But they wasn't them guys that'd be on the streets that be like, yo, go over there and do that. And, they always threw the school in. Yo, go to school.
Yeah.
Go to school. It ain't the same no more.
It ain't.
These
Because when we were growing up, even the drug dealers
tell you to go to school
on the block, the dudes that you knew were doing wrong on the block would see you and be like, yo, get off the block, man.
Yeah, go to school.
Go to school. Yo, take it down there. Take it down there. And I think for us growing up, that created, like, we knew what wrong was, but we still held a studious approach with wrong. Because even in the midst of wrong, we seen them still balancing the balance. Like, nah, shorty, don't go
do
over
it.
Or they hiding the smoke and the drugs. Like, we don't know, but they still did it in behavior. So for us, we understood wrong to a degree, but it wasn't even. It was structured different. Now these kids, they blowing it down in front of the lady crossing the street. They not even moving on the steps.
I see them rolling up on a train. They be wilding. These
Rolling
kids
up
is
on a
quick.
train is
And
crazy, bro.
they know more than 15, 16-year-old kids, man. And that's wild. You see that right there? Like, they smoking, they doing things that we never thought of, bro. We never thought about smoking no weed. And if you smoke weed, you snuck it away. You snuck it.
Yeah.
You wasn't getting that from no grown person or none of that.
No, you wasn't doing that, bro.
You know, these kids go in the store and buy weed, buy vapes. You know, that's not cool. You're killing yourself faster than you think you are.
It's tough, man. It's tough. And we got to be witty. We got to be witty and smart amongst each other, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to be witty and smart amongst each other when it comes to situations like that, man. So I'm just double checking, make sure we ain't get kicked off. We ain't get kicked off. Just making sure.
You know, I watch now my kids, everything that my kids do. My daughter 18, I watch her. Like more than anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always I ain't in their phone or nothing, but I make sure they understand that. Don't do it. Don't try it. Don't try it.
Yeah, you gotta be in their lives, man. Like my daughter Janelle. Like I know her crushes. I know the boys who like her. I know their names. I know what block they live on. And I make it conversational. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I knew what it was to have something that was bothering me or something I want to say, but the house structure created a separation between how I would what I spoke to my parents about. There was a lot of things I didn't go to them about, you know what I mean? And me remembering that, I never want to forget the 13, 14, 15-year-old me, or even little, the 9-year-old me. I don't want to ever forget those stages of me because I know how detrimental that was. And now I incorporate, like, you know, I make jokes like, oh yeah, Alex? What's up with Alex? Like the other day I tested, I was like, yo, when's the first time you kissed him? She's like, I never kissed him. I was like, oh, I'm just having a conversation. She said, no, I'm not ready for that. We just friends. She was like, well, we held hands and we kissed on the cheek. But now the conversation, she shared that with me. I couldn't have shared that. 13-year-old me shared that with my pops and my mom. I wouldn't dare share, you know, what I did at 13. And what I did at 13 compared to what she did at 13 is two different 13s. So I'm glad she's taking those, but I want to be involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta speak, man. You gotta talk, man. Like I always tell my kids, don't hide nothing. Don't hide nothing, because when it come out, it's gonna be worse for you. I'm old school. I'm going upside your head.
Yeah.
I'm bringing that shit to the white.
I'm not against. I'm not good. I'm not against.
I don't play. I don't.
I'm not pro ass whipping. Me, that's not my first go to.
Nah, it ain't.
But I'm surely not against it.
I let it be known. I scream to the top of my lungs and let them know, like, yo, listen, if it go left, it's gonna go somewhere you ain't gonna want to take it. And my little man, like, he know I don't even give him a chance. I don't even give him a chance. I just let him know, listen, go to school. In school, they good. They good. One little bad report, you in trouble.
But I do want to say to you, my dude, like I've seen hundreds of times by a certain time and your phone ring and your little man is like, hey dad, I'm going to sleep, good night. That is a great connection to have with your kids, bro. You know how many parents don't get a good night from their kids? It's, you know what I'm saying? Like to have your little man before he go to bed is like, let me call dad. That's super. Like when I hear that, it warms my heart. Like, you know what I'm saying? That warms my heart. That he called. It's not like you. Hey, you ready for bed? Get it. He be like, hey dad, I'm going to sleep. You be like, alright, I love you. Like,
You know, my son been doing that since he was like, since he got a phone, and that's one thing I'm at. You know, you've been around us. He's my man. Like, you know, it couldn't get no better. Like, I just look at me being with, like, a little me and him.
Damn.
So it's like, he's cool. He's mad funny. And, you know, I always want him to understand, like, yo, you can talk to daddy. Daddy cool.
That's important.
You understand? Daddy's your man. I'm your man, but also remember, I'm your father.
Don't forget that.
So don't forget that. There's boundaries here. We cool, but don't cross the line.
Yeah.
You know, and me and my son is like, he's my man, yo, and I want him to understand. Listen, there's things in life you could accomplish, but you gotta want it. I could just feed you to it. You just gotta go get it.
Yeah.
You gotta get it, and he's a cool dude. He more your friend than my friend, so you know, him talking to him, he be like, yo, it's Spud, you know, Spud's my man. Yeah, listen, whatever. But, you know, to have friends like you, boss, you know, just people that they see that are cool, y'all not trouble dudes, y'all family guys, and you know, that's another thing. You bring your friends around things that your kids around things you don't want them to see.
Yeah.
These parents smoking, drinking, doing everything they're not supposed to.
Everything.
What you think your kid gonna do? What your kid gonna do? It's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't gonna say I ain't never did it, but I don't do it no more because somebody hit me with that question.
Like, what are you gonna do if they do?
Yeah, and that shit bothered me. It bothered me. Cause I'm like, damn, it ain't the same no more. If I'm doing it in front of them. Now if I catch them, it's gonna go left. It's gonna go left.
Yo, what kind of example that I'm leading?
And I like now, my little man he my boy. He just, yo, bro, I even stopped doing things that I listen, when he got a little bigger, bro, I always said, I got my man with me 24 hours a day. He 14 years old. And I go everywhere with him because I know he not going to put me in danger, bro. And I steer him like, yo, listen, you don't got to steal. You don't got to do none of that. Just go. I got you. And that phone call is more important than anything. And I don't even sometimes expect it. He just call out of the humble. Or he'll text like, yo, Dad, I'm going here. Even when he right now, he in high school. Yo, Dad, it's okay I go get me something after school? All right, just be careful and call me when you get back on the train or when you're in the crib.
That's it.
You know?
You see, and that's that balance that I think it introduces that healthy relationship between parent and child. Because if you parent with an iron fist, you're gonna lose out, and if you parent with a paper bag, you're gonna lose out. There's a balance, and I'm gonna use that word a lot. There's a balance that you gotta weave in because they're still people, and not only are they still people, they're developing people. So they're soaking in the environment. They're learning. They're learning from seeing. Their senses are heightened to the development. So on top of that, you got to make sure you in tune with that to see that development, add where you can, because I don't care as a parent. No matter what we do, there will be a moment that they do something else. Why? Because they are in development. You know what I'm saying? We just got to make sure that something else don't lead to a life-changing situation where now we kind of start from zero. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there's gonna be that moment, and if you're a parent thinking that's not gonna be the moment, you will be. There will be a rude awakening for you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to MJMG Presents. But I love parent. I love it, bro.
You're cool.
I love it, bro.
You know, to be a dad is like the best thing in the world, bro.
I love it, bro.
I don't know how people lead their kids, bro. I don't know how people lead their kids, bro. I always said to myself, when I have kids, I will never. Listen, no matter what it is, I'm not leaving, bro. I ain't had a mom. I had a mom, but no dad. So I always said to myself, like, I'm never leaving my kids, bro. Never. Listen, no matter what it is, I'm never leaving my kids. And I just cherish them, bro. I just make sure that they understand that daddy got you. Just do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I love them, and you know, I always tell them, I don't care about who you with. You gonna get in trouble. You go outside. You what me and mommy is. You show respect. You don't do that, you know. And my daughter, thank God, my daughter right now, You know, she's seeing somebody, but you know, I guess she know.
My man holding it together right
You
now.
know, nah, but you know, I can't. You know, but my daughter's in college, so it's like, you know, she puts makeup. She 18, bro. You know, you so used to seeing your girls little, your girl little, and when they grow, it's like, wow. Like, what can I say? You know, I'm your dad. You know, you 18, and you know Spud is crazy. My kids ask me, yo, can I curse, daddy? Can I say what they said? And I'm like, all right, let me hear what they said. And they said, I know they curse like a storm.
When they, yeah, we know when we not around, they busting off. They busting off.
And that's the respect they have. And I love them for that. You know, and to be around them. My daughter, she's starting to get like real ladylike, and you know, it's different, man.
It is. And parenting never ends.
No, it's never gonna end.
It never ends, you know what I'm saying? They grow and we grow older, and you continue parenting. The gauge of how much you administrate and how you administrate that shifts, you know what I'm saying? And you get creative on that, but you're always going to be the rock for them, you know what I'm saying? You're always going to be their rock. I mean, even like my pops was the best man at my wedding. I could... Who could it can't be nobody else. How can it be anybody else but my pops? It didn't make sense to me. Like my pops, he showed me, and I love that he taught me like the old school way. And the reason why I say old school way, because I know there's many new conventional ways of men, and even in my household, I cook, I clean. That's not what my pops did. My mom's did that, but I take the duality of what I seen and what I learned from just watching. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up in a household where they said, look, this is how you do it.
No.
Nah, I seen my mom sew. I sat there. She was like, yo, thread that needle for me. I thread the needle. I washed her. I washed her iron. Okay, that's how you do it. When I got my chance, I just emulated what I saw, and then I saw the results. So I grew up in a household where it was old school.
Yeah.
We ain't sit down and talk about emotions, and I ain't tell my pops I love them till I was 18. We didn't use I love you in the households and all that. No, we didn't do that. And I said that in prison, bro. I never forget. I was in McCormick on a visit, man. And I grabbed his head. I just kissed his forehead, and I was like, Pop, I love you. And I seen him light up because he ain't grow up like that.
Nah, Spud.
And now, every minute,
I love you, Dad.
My pop's like, I love you, my boy. And,
you know what I'm saying?
And now it's free. Now my whole family, we sharing it all. But we didn't grow up that way, but I couldn't wait no more, bro.
I never...
I couldn't wait.
Spud, at that age, you know, my grandfather always showed me love. You know, my dad was never... It's weird, Spud. Like I always told you, like the time we had before, I always say this. I used to think that I hated my dad, but I hated his ways for just breaking out. I didn't understand until I had my own child. You know, when you have your own kids, you like, damn, why he leave? Like, why he didn't just show up? You know, and now that I'm at the age I'm at, like, you know, I know you my dad, but I can't, you know, it ain't the same.
Yeah.
I'm grown already. You know, I had to do this alone without somebody showing me how to be a man. You know, my mom's was there, but I had my grandparents. And my grandfather, all he did was work. All he did was work and show me how to go work. So, like when he got rest his soul, when he passed, I was like my dad came and one day he sat on my couch. I was like, yeah, you made me, but my father's in the ground. And he looked at me like, what? I said, my father's in the ground, yo. You know what it is to be a father? Mm. You know, the first exact words was him blaming my moms. You know, he blamed my moms.
He blamed your mom?
He blamed my moms. And that pissed me off even worse. So I'm like, damn, if he could go that way, like, you couldn't even come once. Now you gonna come now that I'm grown and try to, nah, it don't work like that. I love you, don't get it twisted, but you gotta go your way, bro.
You still gotta find that way to introduce yourself now.
It
You know what I'm
listen, it's
saying?
nothing. You know what, my G? I got to the point where I'm good. I'm good that how I played out everything. I love you, but I just need you to go your way.
You accept it.
I accept it.
You
I
accept
accept
it.
it. Now I accepted everything that I seen in my life. And I knock him for it because I didn't understand. I always wanted to be the kid that his father be in the park throwing the ball, and that's why I love my little dude so much. Cause now I got the
To
chance
do it.
to do it with him
Yeah.
and mold him like, yo, you know what? It's cool to be a daddy.
Yeah. Straight up.
That's mad cool, bro.
Straight up.
You being with the girls, you like, I see you, you like, you don't even know what to say sometimes that they going back and forth.
Yeah, man. I be like, today I got jumped. I'm trying to be on the sofa watching a movie. I got one around my neck. The other one trying to tickle me. I'm like, yo, let's watch this movie, man. So I start playing with them. You know, the missus like, guys behave. It's like 3 kids. It's like 3 kids, you know what I mean? But that's all part of it, man. You know what I'm
It's the
saying?
best part, my G.
It's the best part, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when you could look when you look at them and they like doing something, they turn around and just give you that smile. Like
That's it.
that's
That's
like,
the best
that's
thing
the
in the
best
world,
thing,
bro.
man, to get that smile.
The little things like this, Spud. I love you, Dad, Jelly. Like little
Yeah.
things like that. Yo, Spud, I looked on my visor, and my son is 14, and I had a card, 1 year old, bro,
In your visor?
on my visor, and it fell down. And my son didn't even know how to write. I don't even know what the hell he wrote.
But he wrote.
But I
He
knew,
wrote
I
something.
understood that it said, I love you, Dad.
Your ex
And-
music was good.
And that was the best. Those are the best. That's why I don't understand, Spud. Like this world now, yo, Spud, love, caring for somebody is the best thing in the world, bro.
But it is, but you gotta understand it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand
That's
it.
what a lot of people
And-
didn't get, Spud.
And they didn't get it, so they don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand what it is, that reward of caring. There's a reward in that, man. And because they never really got it and they never saw the person genuinely do something, you know what I mean? It's a reward, man. And people don't get it.
My
You know what I'm
dad
saying?
comes, my dad, I just carry his last name. And there was one thing that I always remember from my grandmother, to don't ever disrespect him. My grandmother, his moms, always used to tell me, don't ever disrespect your dad. I never did, but I never had the chance to. I never seen him and to do a lot of things. And I know a lot of kids go through that.
Yeah.
That's the things that they need. Somebody to be there for them.
For them.
Little things, but
things.
it ain't financially. Some kids might go home without eating. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
And this era now is like people don't care no more. People have no feeling no more. Everything is funny. Everything's a
Everything
joke.
is a joke,
It's not a joke.
Everything's a joke, right? Everything's a joke or everything's too serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I listen to people's arguments sometimes, and people, whether it's political or social, like, people are so tense on one side, or they just too funny and too silly. Like I said, y'all gonna hear me say this a lot throughout this show. That balance is missing, bro. That balance, man. That balance, and when it comes to people, I'm always gonna stand by this. I know I had a conversation with a few teachers who feel weird about my conversations, but I always feel in this day and age, bro, everyone is so concerned on their freedoms, not realizing the progression of their individual freedom, their perspective of freedom contains someone else, bro. It contains someone else. Just because you have, if you believe something and someone says something, I watch people jump down people's throat for their beliefs, which they will do to you, which is unfair to your freedom. We want something that we don't want to give. in life. And I see that in this time. I don't want to say generation, in this era of life, we want so much of what we refuse to give others.
And
It don't work.
At all.
It ain't gonna work.
At all.
I see it, man. I see it between perspectives of race, gender, parenting, prison, music. It's just like everybody wants their perspective to be the lead perspective. And that's the argument in life now. The lead perspective. No, you're wrong. We so loving to say you're wrong and not, but why? Why you say that? What's your point of saying that? It's no. You can't do that. That's incorrect. That's not politically correct. Who wrote the fucking politically correct book? Who wrote it? I want to talk to them. I got some shit I want to add to it. You know what I'm saying? But we so caught into that freedom, man, and people don't see how much they contain others. And
You know, I sit there and, you know, even arguing, it doesn't get you nowhere. At a point, what are you arguing for? You have a disagreement. You know, everybody has their opinion. That's your opinion. I'm not gonna fight with something that you say or what you think is right because it came out of your mouth. I might not like what you said, but a disagreement is just a disagreement. It's okay.
it's okay. It's okay to have a different approach. But no, in generation, no. You got a different approach. I want to argue my approach to you.
And people don't listen.
I want to argue, and then you argue, and now it ain't even the point we're arguing. It's the presence of my freedom in that. Like, you have to agree with me.
No.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Some people disagree. Some people have a different perspective. I'm always asking, like, why? Like, why do you feel that way? Like, what? You know, your point. And it's okay. It's okay to have a different approach. That I'm not gonna treat you differently for your approach. That doesn't mean I hate you for your approach. I see things different.
That's it.
I just see it different, and it's so cool. I want to know why you see it different, but it's rare we want to know why. We just want people to
agree with
what we said. We want to win.
No.
We want to win and defeat any perspective that's not ours. We want to defeat it. We want to defeat, because if we didn't want to defeat it, it wouldn't be nothing.
And that one little conversation could lead to a big blowout because of your opinion. So, you know, I just listen. You know, it's times where, oh, that's how you feel? Okay. If that's what you think, okay. Yeah. I learned to be calm. You know, I'm not, before it might get, you know, back and forth, but for what? For what? I'm not going to kill myself. That's
what do we win?
Nothing.
What do we win?
Nothing.
So then it goes back to, it ain't about your perspective. It goes back to a pride. Like, we want, like, what are we winning? Like, we arguing points that you believe something, I believe something, and we're gonna argue the point. Man, where we going with this?
Then we going back and forth.
Where we going with this? You know what I'm saying? Where we going? Instead of, you believe that, I believe this. This is why I believe that. That's why you believe that? Okay. Maybe there's some parallels that we could agree on.
That's right.
And then there's things that we could disagree. Like, okay, I see what you're saying. I'm not really a fan of that, but this is how I feel. Now we got a better understanding of each other. We're not forcing a perspective. That's this era, bro. This era, bro. This era has this thing, bro. They have this thing with the perspective, man. They want to just force it down you. Force it.
And you know who changed me doing that shit? It's probably my kids. Because I never gave them the chance to express themselves. You know how you be like, you did it, and you know, the first thing they say, but why you don't let me talk? Why you don't let me talk? I would look at them like, you don't have the chance to talk. But not knowing that
you can't talk.
Yeah, but maybe they
got something to say.
You know, and I had to sit back and be like, damn, that is kind of true. I didn't give them a chance to
let them.
You know, I'm like, you know, if I could do it with my kids and my wife, I do it with any. And man, my wife is like the worst. She's the worst. Her opinion is always, you know. So I get around older people.
We scratching that. We scratching that.
I'm serious. I'm serious. I get around older people, and the old man. You know, I went into Costco's, and we sit in front of somebody that been married for like 40, 50 years, and the man goes to his wife, something, and I say, yo, happy life, happy wife. He said, you need to tell her that. I was like, oh man.
D said, that's right.
I'm telling you. I tell you, my wife, she just, and when she say something and I don't agree, oh, it go to like a, bro, it's times where I start sweating, like, yo, am I saying the right thing? Like, it can't go.
How they said they restrict.
It can't go. It can't
they
go.
restricting our conversation.
It can't go left. It can't go left. You know. So I learned, Spud. You know, sometimes just okay. I just sit there and don't care everybody to death, and I'm listen. I ain't got the energy no more. I don't.
You got the energy.
No, I got the energy for like, like it can't be somebody that
Yeah.
Like dumb households it's cool, but outside is a different.
In relationships, like, and that's a whole nother topic we could get into, but
they'll kill us if we talk about that on it.
Let's do it. We're gonna
Next
talk.
week.
I'm willing.
Next week.
Next week, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna save what I was gonna say. We'll save next week to relationship. I really like that dynamics in that conversation.
Somebody said she can't and you can't. That's love, brother. That's right. Whatever that is right.
Your truth says she can't and you can't. That's love, brother.
That's right. Whoever that is, he is right. That is right. She can't and you can't. That is right. That is 100% right. I never thought about that, my G. Damn. You know, it's no win situation there. If we talk about relationships, it's gonna
next
get
week. That's what we're gonna talk about.
It's gonna get crucial.
Next week we talking about relationships. I got some stuff to say.
Oh, it's gonna get crucial on here, my G.
I'm gonna come up here with my bandana, my hoodie, Tim boots,
Vaseline,
all that.
Just in case.
I'm gonna have the light flashes like football players. All that, bro. All that. I'm gonna have a whole camouflage.
It's
I'm
gonna get real out here.
I got some stuff I gotta say, man.
It get real, my G. Damn, yo. I'm sitting here thinking, look, I'm already sweating. I think the lights is on me. It's gonna be a bad conversation next week. It gets scary in here, man. Tell you bring 4 dudes, if it's 4 of us here, we be sweating. They take that one little bad comment. Your wife get on. Who said that shit?
Oh, Miss Grove said relationships or partnerships. I think in relationships,
both, right?
I think in relationships there is a certain in I don't want to say healthy. In some of the best relationships, there's a level of partnership, and in partnerships, there's a certain level of relationships. They intertwine. I don't think you can have a partnership without a relationship, a successful one, and you can't have a successful relationship with some type of partnership, some type of agreement, some type of do. So I think they really intertwine, and that's gonna be in the conversation. Miss Groves, chill, Miss Groves, chill. Don't bring that up right now. You got me hyped right now. But we're gonna talk about that. But no, there's certain level. It's gonna be a good conversation.
Make sure I sleep on this one.
Make sure I sleep on this
Tell
one.
you, I'm gonna go home. She gonna be like, "What you mean by that?" And I said, "I ain't mean nothing.
That was Spud.
I'm a Spud. I gotta blame everything." I ain't listen. Listen. I put my hands up like I'm locked up. Not me. I put them up. Listen, don't even ask me.
I come in peace.
Yeah, I come in straight peace. Don't even want no problem.
No problems.
Bro, listen, man. This gonna get me next week. They gonna be like, oh man, it's time. I tell her I don't want to go. She look at me like, what you mean you ain't going? What? I ain't going. 5 minutes later, I'm getting dressed like I did all that fighting for. That's why I just go now. I just shut up. I shut up, bro.
Yo.
If I don't want, like I walk in, I just walk. Listen, I'm going. I can't. There's no more wins.
That's gonna be a dope one.
Hell yeah.
I think relationships in general, the conversations
You know the
don't really be had, and I love the activity from the
I'm
chats,
telling you,
people giving their input
the like my family members and everybody that know what's on here, them women gonna go crazy on here. Watch. They gonna start telling. I'll be like, listen, I'm not answering that one. I'm not even gonna comment on that
no
one.
holds balls. Next week, no holds balls. Ask it. I'm in. I'm in for it. And I might even open up the line. I might even open up the line where people could call in, like the A&R.
Look, they said I can't wait.
That's right. I'm
Oh
taking
my
all
God.
questions. I'm not ducking no smoke next week, bro.
I'm ducking.
I want it, bro.
I'm not ducking the smoke. I'm not ducking no smoke. But you can ask Spud. He go. Look, happy wife, happy life. You go right. You right. You right. I said everything I was supposed to. I'm not saying nothing. Ask Spud the question. I'm just gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with him.
Yeah. I like that conversation, man. I really do.
I'm telling you, the women gonna go on here and they gonna start fucking.
Let's do it.
My God.
That's gonna be a great one.
Yeah, it is.
That's gonna be a great one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great one.
Somebody said, bro, been there. Oh, man. Well, that is. He going through it. Look. He said, bro, been there.
On TikTok said, yo, bro, been there.
Them dudes gonna get slapped up while they sitting there. I told you. I'm gonna be like, listen, he answered it. I'm pointing everything. Look, ask him.
Nah, it's gonna be dope.
Nah, we gonna have a good time next week, man. I like that, man. I like relationship. It took me a while, man. It took me a while, man, to understand. You know, I'm gonna wait till next week.
That's now you warming me up. I want to say
no. We're gonna wait till next week.
We're gonna save for next week. Actually, we rocked a good time.
Yeah, we did.
My man got some stuff he got to take care of too, and I want to be more mindful. I want to be more mindful of that and be mindful for D. I don't want no beef with D.
Yeah, she about to say, where you at? Go home.
I want no beef with D either, you know what I'm saying? Because that messes up my situation, you know what I'm saying? So I got to be mindful of not only my relationship, I got to be mindful of the relationships around me, because if there's an altar in that, there's an altar in mine. We're going to save that for next week.
Oh, man.
But shout out to everybody that's on, spent the time, rocked out with us, participate. There's probably a lot in the chat that we probably didn't get to. Sometimes it goes up where we're not actually by the mouse, so sometimes the feeds go up and we're most definitely not near the phone to even see the chat. So we do our best. So if you said anything and participate, we weren't
Look at what she said.
Or ignoring you, man.
Look at what she said.
She said, love you, Spud, but it ain't time to go. I love you, man. It ain't time to go.
I tell you, sure.
Have a good weekend. To my gosh. But I'm Spud Brooklyn.
I'm Nate.
This is Dungeon Talk, where we bring you living room conversation, man, and we just invite y'all on. I do want to also just take this time. I'm being more mindful. I just want to take this time just to say, anyone's perspective that probably felt like they were challenged or maybe stuff that we spoke about was challenging to you, it's not intentional. We just bring conversation. I think a true conversation isn't heard. We're not pointing no fingers. We just want to bring dialogue back. There's so many different places that promote, negativity in conversation or use it as bait. Not here, man. We just have conversation and invite y'all. So I just want to do a disclaimer. If anybody felt a certain way, that's never our intent. It's all love. Yo, shout out to Miss Groves, love you, and love to the brother, YouTube too, most definitely.
I just want people to chime in, because even people that are having relationship problems, I would like, it's good to talk, man. It's always good to talk, man. You ain't got to pay nobody. This is free advice, man, and free just listening, and you might can help somebody with your advice, man.
Yeah, before we closed, one week we were talking about kind of like relationships, and there was a brother who was in an abusive relationship where she was abusing him, and he brought it on the chat, and he
Yeah.
thanked us like, "Yo, this was a dope conversation." So we bring that, we bring that. He said it's all learning, and we can't not stop laughing and learning. If you're not laughing, you crying.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you ain't learning, you dying.
Yeah,
man.
you-
So
you-
we most definitely, Miss J, I got a relationship problem. Next week, Miss J, bring those. Nah, I can't talk. That's Tim Dog. Yo, shout out to Tim Dog. That's the homie. That's the homie. Miss J said you taking sides.
He gonna
Hey,
get killed.
That's Tim Dog right there.
He
That's-
gonna get killed
that's
on
Tim.
here. Spark gonna cause a problem.
Next week, y'all have a good one. Y'all be easy. Have a great one, man. Much love.